Warning: the stories in this podcast contain depictions of violence and suggestive themes. Listener discretion is advised. BLF Agent in Charge 0602, filing report for Project 1980, codenamed Broken. Legion must be stopped at all costs. The remaining agents of the BLF have all consolidated in one area with max security protocols in place. Not all leadership survived. Out of all remaining agents, I am third in command. Not that it means much anymore. Less than 20 of us remain. All efforts are focused on shutting down Legion's demonic spawn. Hell is eager to get the demon trapped in the lower realms once again. The soul traffic is out of balance, and if not stopped, Legion may be able to take the throne of Hell from Morningstar. I must somehow convince the demons to give up Legion's true name in order to bind him. The BLF is hesitant to let me travel too far. I am the only one the Eldritch Eye will communicate with. Broken, File 307 begin. Special Agent Nikki Reed is gathering evidence needed to prove Erin is behind the recent murders. However, without Detective Solomon to back her up, her investigation must wait for more hard evidence in order for her to make a move. Looks like it's time to ask for forgiveness, rather than permission. Broken, File 307, end of report.
Leitmittel.
Na, wait. Das geht ab.
Nem vagyok.
It's been a week since Highbridge experienced the brutal deaths of 4 citizens and 1 police officer. The ordinarily vocal police department has not named a suspect in any of the murders yet. Sheriff Rowland and Mayor Hart refused to comment on the case, stating, quote, "The investigation is ongoing and they will let us know when and if there are any updates," end quote. Highbridge PD consultant Nikki Reed continues to work on the case with newly appointed case detective Thomas Wright. Many Highbridge citizens and council members attended the funeral for Detective Solomon this past Wednesday. The preliminary findings according to the death certificate stated that he died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. No one inside or outside the department can confirm if Detective Solomon suffered from any type of depression or suicidal thoughts. Solomon's widow, Charlotte, has been quite vocal in the news media lately, demanding answers about her husband's death. She's retained former State Attorney General Charles Wilmington to bring several lawsuits against the Highbridge Police Department. Regardless of the outcome, there is an outcry of discontent against Mayor Hart's administration for its complacency. The WKIL TV News Center will continue to follow this story as it develops. Until then, stay safe, Highbridge. This is Lacey West, WKIL TV News.
A week passed in a blur. I prepared the best I could for this night of retribution. The barrel full of powder chemicals I took from ISB was an unfortunate byproduct of science gone wrong, but was the key to much suffering and death. The powder, when mixed with any liquid, would turn severely acidic. I found a copy of the ISB internal report that showed that the pH of the liquid it was added to would rival hydrochloric acid or worse, depending on the concentration. It was the perfect way to exact revenge. The small phosphorus blasting charges were easy to make. I was able to rig the igniter to the key fob from my truck. Push the panic button and poof. White hot fire for at least 10 seconds. Should be plenty of time to set off the sprinkler system. These strangers think they can come into my town and destroy everything that I love? I dumped the whole barrel of that poison into the sprinkler reservoir systems at the Royal Suite Hotel a few days ago. I'll chain the doors and set off the firebomb by the sprinkler. Acid will rain from the sky. It will be glorious.
Tonight is the night we make them all suffer. We will show them the new face of fear.
The visions came to me in a series of dreams. Tonight's work called for a mask. It represented a reflection of all the ugly in the world. Everyone would take notice after tonight. Once the suffering was turned back on this privileged group of assholes, all would be well.
Leave the eyes open. The eyes are the windows to the soul.
I stood back to admire my work. The mask's skin was smooth and covered in a pale, fleshy tone. An intricate pattern decorated the surface in a ritual tattoo in place of hair. The eye holes were open, dark, with jagged black markings that looked like scars running down the cheek.
Weep and moan, you evil shepherds. Roll in the dust, you leaders of the flock. The time of your slaughter has arrived. You will fall and shatter like fragile pottery.
Tonight, I am the lesser light.
The Lord has made everything for his own ends. Even the wicked for the evil day.
Are you talking to someone down here?
Nope, just cleaning up and talking to myself. Marcus looked paler than usual. There were heavy bags underneath his eyes. He seemed to be carrying an invisible weight on his shoulders. I probably haven't been around much to help out either. I promised myself that after tonight, I'd do better. I couldn't ignore the faraway look in his eyes forever.
Are you okay?
Yeah, just tired. You going out again tonight?
I might meet up with some of the guys from work later. It's been a long week. It's been a long week.
I have a feeling that something will change for us soon. I feel like this town is holding its breath and waiting to exhale.
I didn't have anything to say to that. It was strange. Even his voice seemed to be coming from a faraway place. I'd ask him about it in the morning, once my task was done.
Why don't you turn in early? We'll talk in the morning.
I guess. Good night, Dad.
Good night, Marcus.
A purge will lay the road for the new way.
I agreed with the voice on one aspect. The world was an ugly place. The corruption in Highbridge had festered for far too long. Tonight, I sever all the Hydra's heads at once. The cover fell away from the workbench where I was shaping my mask. It reflected what I felt inside. Seething rage, injustice, vengeance. The mask fit tight against my skin. I reshaped the nose holes to allow adequate airflow. I held up a dirty hand mirror to look at the final product.
Tonight is a rebirth. Tonight, we will collect enough souls to transcend this mortal form. And then the real work can begin.
A cleansing.
A purge.
I swear this town is a black hole for music. The only stations that come in clear play country music older than my parents, or poppy crap that is a meaningless cash grab. I miss the classic DJs that would both entertain and play good music. It would make the stakeout less boring. I didn't know whether to be anxious or glad that nothing was going on. Aaron Rathman was a dangerous man. My new partner, Detective Wright, didn't see it my way. He was more interested in sucking up to the sheriff and the mayor's office than solving crimes. I felt another wave of nausea pass over my body as I stared at the Rathman residence. There was something evil festering in that house. Aaron could still be possessed, or he could have a portal to hell open in his basement. Who knows? One thing was clear. Following Rathman would lead me to answers. He was either my unsub or connected to them. It didn't take long for Mr. Rathman to make his exit. I waited a few seconds and took a deep breath. My eyes were drawn to the second floor of the Rathman residence. I could make out a lone figure staring at me. I could only assume it was his son, Marcus. Chill ran down my spine underneath the teenage boy's gaze. I felt unease as I followed Aaron's truck towards town. Another storm front was rolling through the area tonight. The pre-show lightning indicated that it was going to be violent. Highbridge was pretty busy tonight. There was lots of cars on the roads, and it made it easy to blend into traffic. A short 20 minutes later, and I found Rathman's truck parked in a side alley. I pulled out my phone and called Detective Wright.
Hello, Nikki. What do you want now?
I followed Rathman to the edge of town over by 18th Street. I think he's up to something.
Why are you following him? He already gave his statement and had solid alibis.
I'm telling you, something isn't right with this guy.
Look, I get it. You feel bad about Scott dying. I know this case is getting under your skin. Believe me, I get it. We got a few phone leads to follow up on tomorrow. One of the neighbors remembered seeing someone leave out the front door that night on Elm Street, and a beat officer took a statement from one of the homeless bums and got a drawing of a guy he claims left in a hurry down the alleyway behind the Heights condos.
I can't shake this feeling. I'm sure Rathman is our unsub, or he knows who is. I think he's going to kill again.
Look, you can't follow a civilian without cause, especially one that's not even a suspect. Fall back, and we'll regroup in the morning. We'll do some real police work and follow our leads. Go home, Nikki.
I couldn't believe this asshole. Real police work? Fuck him. Sure. I'll see you in the morning. I can't believe that I let him get to me like that. I'm gonna find out what the hell Rathman is up to. Right and weather be damned. I parked my car close to Rathman's truck just in case I needed to jump back in and follow him somewhere else. There wasn't much out this way. Most of the businesses were closed for the evening. The only one open was a Royal Suites about a block away. I searched around the area and didn't find anything suspicious, so I walked down the block to the hotel.
The End of the Middle and the Beginning of the End was written by Arthur Unk and performed by Tanner Wood, with an original score by J.M. Scherf. Production and sound design by Tanner Wood. Masked Rage Part 1 was written by Arthur Unk and performed by Katie Tattrie, J. Phillip Morris, Spencer Leininger, Tanner Wood, and C.M. Peters. Production, sound design, and musical arrangements by Tanner Wood. Episode artwork was provided by Jason Pouris. I'd like to welcome Daniel Barton to our team as our Discord moderator, as well as Kelly Sisson and Eric Phones as our community organization team. I want to personally thank you guys for sticking with us throughout the past few months as we work to get ourselves back on track to provide a quality product for the podcasting community. Be sure to check out the link in our notes to our Discord server where you can interact with the BLF directly and even get some inspiration to become a short story writer, a voice actor, or how to join our production team. We're always looking to support those who want to jump into the world of audio dramas. After all, that's what we're here to do. All the links you would ever need are in the show notes. Thank you so much for listening.